What's going on, everybody? My name is Holter Madison, and welcome back to Radar Review. Now today we have a really cool figure for you. This is brought to you by Neca, and this is the ultimate Ghostface action figure. Ghostface is from the iconic film franchise Scream. However, that wasn't the first time we've seen it. Originally, it came from the Fun World company with their Fantastic Faces line. This was originally called the Peanut-Eyed Ghost, and it didn't get its iconic name Ghostface until a few years later when the Scream movie premiered and was a huge success.
Lose the outfit. If Sydney sees it, she'll flip.
So the character of Ghostface has a pretty simple design. What he has is a pretty long black cloak and then a simple mask to make it look like a screaming ghost, aka Ghostface. So in the movie Scream itself, this is still an iconic costume. So the killer goes to a costume store and purchases this costume, but in the movie it's called Father Death. And now the reason that this is so clever is because in the movie, it's really difficult to be able to track down this killer since so many people are wearing this iconic costume in the movie, thus making the killer blend in perfectly and not be noticed. Scream was such an iconic movie that the costume Ghostface was the best-selling Halloween costume in America for years.
He's gonna try and kill me.
Okay, so if you open this up, you get a picture of Ghostface, which is the figure, and then you get the figure itself. You have all three of the faces, and then you also have all the accessories as well. So before we look at Ghostface himself, let's look at the accessories. Of course, Ghostface comes with a knife. He comes with three, including his iconic Buck 120 hunting knife. So we pulled one of these out. This looks like a standard just kitchen knife that he used to kill one of his victims. It has an incredible amount of detail. The blood splatter itself is also really cool to where if you actually look, it reflects off the light to make it look that much more shiny. So if you're trying to take really detailed pictures of this figure, you're gonna see that blood shine. So Ghostface comes with 4 hands. Each hand is kind of sculpted so it can hold a different object per hand. So we have a closed gripped hand, but the peg is pointed out a little bit, so it looks a little bit more natural when he's holding the scythe, so it kind of looks like he's doing that more action. We have another hand where it's another closed grip, so it goes onto both hands where you can have 2 knives kind of dual wielding. And then Ghostface already has it attached, but it's kind of more of an open hand, so you can have either the knife, you can have the voice changer, or even hold maybe another mask or something like that. So the amount of posability is endless with this figure. You can have so many different possibilities on what it's holding, what it looks like. It's endless. All right, so now let's take this figure out and really see what's going on here. First things first, what I'm seeing is you see these tassels behind it, and this just looks phenomenal. This looks like something that I would go to a costume shop and be able to pull off the rack and just display and show. This feels like the material too, so if you kind of have that like more thin black material, that's exactly what it feels like in the hands. This feels like something that Ghostface went to a Halloween store and just pulled right off the rack. So something I'm starting to notice more is the detail on the boots themselves. They have little metal rings, or at least painted metal rings, to make it look and pop that much more. This looks like just a normal person in a Ghostface costume, essentially. So if you want to replace the head sculpt, all you have to do is just pull down the hood, which it does pull down just like a normal hood, which is also really cool. And then it just has a ball joint head, which you pop off, and then you can pop on another one. Super simple, just like that. No fuss and fuss. So right now I'm really trying to look at a lot of things I don't like about this figure, and there's not a lot. The best I can say is that this tassel behind here looks a little cheap, but I think that actually sells the figure a lot more. This is supposed to look like a cheap costume that he bought from a store, and this is exactly what it looks like. The material feels a little cheap, but it just blends in just magically like this. So if I had to gripe on this figure at all, it's a little difficult to stand. I'm trying to get it to stand right now and I can't, so I kind of have to support it by myself. However, if you do want this to stand, it does have little peg holes on the bottom, so you can get a little plastic stand itself to be able to display it. I think my favorite thing about this is just the amount of small detail that this figure has. These are details that didn't need to be included with this figure, but Neca went above and beyond and decided to give you that detail just to make it look that much better. All right, so we've been talking about this figure for a while, and now it's time to see, how can I get this? So this figure runs about $40 to $80 online. A little pricey, but it's definitely worth it. It definitely shows with the detail in this figure itself. All right, guys, this was the Neca Ultimate Ghostface figure. If you're looking to pick up one of these, you can find them on radartoys.com. I'm Holter Madison. This is Radar Review. I'll see you next time.
Yo. What's up?
Thanks for checking out the channel. If you want to keep up on the latest news, make sure to hit that bell notification to keep us on your radar.